Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another very special, as always, episode of the HyperConscious podcast. We hope you enjoyed our latest episode where we talked about why you feel stuck. Today, for episode number 444, we are going to talk about why you'll never accomplish your goals. I promise it's not going to be mean.
This is a hardcore week for Kevin and I. This is
I think we're learning a lot about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people read books to feel good, or they watch something to feel good. And if you're listening to us to feel good, then this might not feel good.
Yeah.
Right? But it also is this. Honestly, like the stuff that you need really doesn't feel good because it's going to shake the snow globe and make you question what is. And I think we're leaning a little bit more into our hardcore business, but also like, what does it actually take? Like, what does it really take behind the scenes to succeed? So,
and it's because we care about you.
And it's fall, so the seasons are changing, so we are too.
Wow,
that was beautiful. Wasn't it?
That was beautiful.
I know.
So this is about Kevin and I masterminded about this when we first got to the studio because one of my clients is in an unbelievably fulfilling relationship for the first time in her life, and she's unbelievably happy. And she admitted to me, like, I'm just very comfortable. And I'm not getting after it like I once was. And what Kevin and I realized is that we notice these patterns. One of the benefits of being a podcaster and a coach and a speaker is you just start getting a bird's eye view of humans.
Yeah.
You start to really notice, like, I think one of the reasons why I wanted so many clients, and I'm blessed now to have 10 of them, imagine being not in charge, but like, imagine your goal is to help 10 people achieve their dreams. You start to notice very, very common patterns. And now that I have the data, not only of the hyperconscious team, but also of all my clients, it's like, whoa, we're all kind of the same in certain ways, even though we have all these unique values and goals and dreams and beliefs. And so what I would say is this. You are either right now, if you're listening, it's one or the other. And this is hardcore, but it's true. You're either working really, really hard every day to achieve your desires and your goals, or you're working really, really hard every day not to lose what you currently have. So I want you to think about this for a second. There's two people. One of them is in corporate America, and they want to eventually open their own business one day in the future. And they know that they're an entrepreneur at heart, but right now it makes a lot of sense to go and learn business from a business that's already flourishing. Okay, so they go into the business and they add as much value as they can, and they're having conversations with IT and R&D and with sales and marketing, and they're learning how business works from within a business. Okay, they're having meetings with higher ups, they're getting mentored, all this stuff. Okay, now person B. Let's say they're in corporate America, but they don't really know what their dream is. They're doing this a lot for a paycheck, and I'm not making that wrong. This is just for the analogy. Are they going to be going outside of their comfort zone asking for mentorship as much? Are they going to be finding unique ways to add value to different departments? Are they going to be absorbing like a sponge all day, every day? Or are they going to do what's necessary to keep their job? And so that's the thing. Use that as an analogy for life. You are either living your dreams, like Les Brown says, or you're living your fears. And that's what this episode's about.
When I got my job, my old job, again, like I took this class, this 2-week class. I didn't have a job. I didn't have any money. I took this 2-week class and I found out I'm going to be making $50 an hour. Okay. My boss actually said, so you're going to Delaware, you're going to be making $10 an hour less than everybody else. And I was like, $10? What am I be making $5 an hour? What the hell's that's not legal, is it? What's the laws in Delaware? Strange. And then he's like, you're gonna be making $50 an hour. And I was like, wait, what? What do you mean? And then he, like, in my mind, we used to joke about this, literally. The people that I worked with would joke, like, if I ever lose this job, I am gonna kill myself because there is a 0% chance I ever get this opportunity again. Right? $100 an hour. Mm-hmm. That doesn't happen very often to a 26-year-old kid who didn't go to college.
No, it doesn't.
Right? And like, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Right.
So I very much was at the, we're talking about striving for greater or arriving and then staying.
Yeah.
I arrived at this job that I never knew I was capable of getting. For me, like, that was striving honestly. Getting the job was like, wow, this is way beyond what I ever thought was possible. So I just dug in and stayed.
Right.
And I did whatever it took to stay.
I just did whatever it took to stay.
So very much to your point, like I wasn't striving for better. I had better than I ever thought I was going to get. And this is where a lot of people end up in their relationships.
Yep.
Very similar to what you were talking about. If you don't believe you're capable of attracting, and this is the Jeff thing too. If you don't think you're capable of attracting your dream partner, you're actually not. Let me say that again. If you do not believe you are capable of attracting your dream partner, you actually are not capable of attracting your dream partner.
So you're right.
So you're right. Because you'll settle.
Right.
You'll settle, and then in order to keep that, you have to just stay. You have to arrive there, and you'll stop doing what it takes because that'll actually take you out of the relationship. It's this weird thing.
I know.
I don't know who said the quote, whether a man, well, that's the quote. So we'll say whether a man or a woman believes she can or cannot, she is right. Whatever the
Socrates.
Yeah, that's my buddy. My buddy.
My
young sock.
buddy JC. How is he these days? Do you even listen to yourself? No, it's hilarious. So
that was pretty profound what I just said.
that was really, it really was philosopher Jeff in the studio. Mark the date, 2020. Philosopher Jeff.
That's me.
So you honestly are either striving for greater or trying to hold on to what you have. And I told this client, I said, okay, 8 months ago we were talking and I was doing the coaching. And 8 months later, you were literally listing off all your accomplishments, blown away by your own accomplishments. And I asked her a simple question. This was really cool. I said, in 8 months from today, based on the way you've been acting the last few weeks, will you have a list as long as you did the last 8 months? And she said, she sat with this for a moment. This is an emotional call. Coaching is emotional. And she said, no. And I said, okay, this isn't up to me. Are you okay with that? And she had to sit with it, and she's like, no. And I said, well, then you have to do something differently. And that's when we went into the strategy, right? Because she realized in that moment, I miss kicking ass. Like, she is a savage, man. I've seen some people. She is my most consistent client overall. She was, I should say. And I'm not saying she can't get back there, but lately she hasn't been.
Yeah.
And it's not because of any other reason other than you're just really happy. There's nothing wrong with being happy and fulfilled in your relationship. That's a wonderful thing. But I came across this too. I mean, when I first met Emilia, it was beyond what I ever thought was possible, genuinely. And for a little while, well, let's hang out 4 days a week. And let's, fun, unique experiences. Let's hang out. Like, let's do holidays and let's go on these little trips and all that. And then eventually I'm like, oh my God, am I executing at the level I once did? And you have to kind of reassess. Only, if you're out there listening, only you know whether or not you're striving or arriving. Only you know whether or not you're executing at the level you want to be. And if you're not, understand that what you've attracted into your life up to this point is the compound effect of the choices you've made and the level of execution you've consistently done. And if you want to keep growing, you're going to have to really set that bar even higher and higher and higher. And there really is no end to this game, so to speak.
Yeah, and that's why this is called Why You'll Never Accomplish Your Goals. You're going to accomplish a lot of goals along the way. But again, I very highly doubt that because this is my goal, Alan and I are going to be on stage. Somebody walks by Alan and is like, hey, what's happening? And then gives me the trophy for the best podcaster ever. Oh, I don't know that that's going to happen. Right?
You're playing an infinite game.
I'm playing an infinite game versus a finite game. And I think that so many people are, and this happens, that's what happened to your client. She got a relationship that she didn't think she was capable of getting or is so happy with what is.
She's never experienced this level of fulfillment in a relationship.
That you understand, then you start to understand at a deep level, oh, is that why I was being a savage?
Right.
Because I wanted to attract this into my life.
Exactly.
I think
it
we're
was
all
part
guilty.
of it.
I think we're all guilty of that.
Right.
I think we're all guilty of that. Yep. But I do think that at the end of the day, you're going to accomplish a bunch of things. But you should set a goal that you actually never accomplish. Because if you actually accomplish the goal, you're going to stop doing what made you accomplish the goal, and then you're going to leave so much on the table.
So much.
And it's super hard to explain because it looks like the guy or the gal driving the Lamborghini, with the really nice body, with the jewelry, with the nice house, with the awesome family.
Has arrived.
It looks like they've arrived.
Yeah.
In some cases, they have.
Right.
But it doesn't mean they're actually as happy as they look because they're missing the growth part.
Yeah, and the contribution part.
When you stop growing, the things around you stop growing too.
What is it? Jim Rohn, I was listening to him this past weekend, and he said this. He said, I have some friends who said, oh, if I ever made $1 million, I would quit working forever. And he says, well, maybe that's why God makes sure you never get your $1 million. You would quit. And it's interesting because I would never quit this. I would never, I tell the story about Ella asking me, what would you do if you won the lottery? I said, more of this.
Yeah.
And I would start my philanthropic efforts sooner, which also is a mirror of why aren't I doing that now?
It's funny. I was getting gas at the gas station the other day.
Yeah.
This was before the gym. I think it was probably 5 a.m. I'm at the gas station.
Savage.
And there's the Powerball thing in the window.
Right.
I think one was 79 million, the other was 116 million. And I literally sat there and I was like, what would I do? Number one, I don't play the lottery, so this is impossible. But what would I do if I won? 119 million. And I was like, I would give $1 million to Amy, $1 million to Tiff, $1 million to Natalie, right? I literally didn't even think about myself. I was like, $1 million to Alan, just because, even though you probably wouldn't take it, you probably just, whatever. I would give $1 million to Matt. Everybody around me would get $1 million because 120 million is a lot of money.
Right.
And then I would put some away. My family obviously would get taken care of. But for me, it was it would really help us grow.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't stop doing it. Everything would get awesome. We would get a new studio for sure, probably. Right? So many things would change, but not this. Not the growth part
What
of it.
actually would change? Because this is a fire exercise that I think the listeners would benefit from
You and
tremendously.
I would only do what we wanted.
Right.
What we decided.
What we
I
believe
wouldn't
is
even
most-
say what we wanted, because sometimes what you decide isn't necessarily what you want.
Right.
But we would do... You and I would only do the things that only we could do.
Right.
From my perspective.
Right.
Everything else could get delegated. We could bring, but this wouldn't stop. We would still come to you guys 5 days a week. We'd still do live masterminds every Monday. We'd still do the coaching calls. So
I know.
The thing is, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, no way. I would ditch Alan completely. I understand that. But that just means that you think arriving is the end.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah.
Because Alan and I have both done it.
I know.
We arrived. We had the 6 figures. We had
More money than I needed.
We had those things. Yeah. And that's not arrival.
Nope.
That just means it's time to strive for something else.
Or at a greater level.
Yeah.
I think it would be an elevated version of what we're doing.
I agree.
And that's beautiful. If you can't answer like that, Kevin and I used to be there too.
For my whole life, most of my life, I literally said, again, go back to episode number 7. It's called Chase Your Effing Dreams, solo job, because Alan wasn't here yet. I literally said, I want to not have to work. Now, I don't really consider this work.
Want to not have to.
Yeah, but even that, it's not... I don't think I was aware enough at the time to understand what that actually meant, because I didn't know how much growth and contribution actually mattered to me. So I literally didn't think I'd do anything. I thought I'd play Call of Duty all day. Now, that's not the goal anymore.
Think about this for a second. This is crazy. How unfulfilling would that life be if all you did was play Call of Duty?
Well, I think that depends, because there's professional gamers out there who do it.
Right. Okay.
I'm not good. By any stretch of the
for you.
imagination.
Okay. So
it'd be brutal.
Okay, so
I'd regret it every day.
Right.
Yeah, every day. I do. Sometimes when I play, I'm like, was that the best use of my time? Now, I intentionally do it sometimes as R&R.
Right.
Again, I'm working... Every day, I'm at least working 12 hours. Okay?
Right.
Every single day, I'm working at least 12 hours, pretty much. So, other than Sunday. So, some days I'll decide, all right, I'm going to take 2 hours here. I'm going to play some Call of Duty. I'm going to turn my brain off. But some days I'm like, God, you suck at this. Why don't you at least play a game you're better at or something? So, that's just a little bit about me.
A little bit about Kevin. If you're out there listening right now, again, it comes down to do you have a life designed where you don't want to vacation from it? It's that weird thing, man. How do you explain this? Because there's certain days that really do suck for us. But we don't have to work. We choose to work. I could literally take my Friday, cancel everything. All my calls, cancel them, move them, and just do nothing all day Friday. What is that going to really do for myself and others? Is that going to add value to my life and to my loved ones?
I mean, it could if you're overwhelmed.
Right.
If you're burning down.
Right.
But, I mean, no.
Is it going to help me grow? Maybe if you're overwhelmed
with technicalities.
Right.
But if you do that every day, no.
Right.
No. There's only so much refresh you need. A vacation, if you want to take a vacation
Right.
because you made $700,000 last year and you want to take your family to wherever, okay. But if every single Monday you're counting down till Friday, and this is what I'm going to say. Number one, I say this with all the empathy in the world because this used to be me. I remember showing up to work at 6:30 and looking at the clock at 8 and being like, oh my God, it's only been an hour and a half. I still have 6.5 more hours of this. This is terrible. I remember that like it was yesterday. Like, so I say this with all the empathy in the world. You are not put here to work 5 days a week and have 2 days to yourself. Now, Alan and I work 7 days a week, but we get to do what we love.
Right.
Does it look like work? Maybe.
And is it hard? Yes.
Of course it's hard.
But it is
Dave?
worth it.
Is Dave listening?
Yeah.
It's what's the right word? It's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
But a great challenge.
Right.
It's a great challenge.
Will you here's a question for the listeners, but I'm going to ask Kevin. Will you regret how hard you've worked on this podcast?
No. Even if it
Do
burned
you
to the
regret
ground.
how hard you worked at that last job with terrible leaders?
I don't really know that I regret it because it taught me a lot.
Right.
It taught me a lot about myself and what I'm capable of, and so I don't know that I regret it.
Is there anything at your old job that you do regret?
I got drunk and spent a lot of money at bars for no reason.
Do you think that added value to your life and others?
No, I'd say probably not. No, I'd say probably not.
So this is one thing that I don't feel like we talk about enough. Not that we should or shouldn't, but I don't talk about this enough. I don't. Virtue. Virtue is the universal language, in my opinion. If I see Kevin open the door for an old lady who is hurting, that is virtuous in any culture, any background, any place on the planet. The virtue is love. And you recognize it when you see it. And I think we regret vice.
Yeah.
You're never going to look back and regret the virtues. Hard work, that's why I think I believe in it. Hard work for a good purpose? Dude, I could tear up just talking about it. Like, that's virtuous. It's not easy. It's challenging, but it's virtuous. You're not gonna look back and go, "Wow, I really wish I was less virtuous."
And you don't want easy. What you want is a desired challenge.
Exactly.
You don't want easy. If you wanted easy, Tough Mudders wouldn't be a thing.
I know.
They wouldn't be a thing.
Spartan races
What
wouldn't
is
be
that?
a thing.
It is a reasonable,
Yeah.
accomplished challenge
Yeah.
that you get to share with people because you do it with a team.
If you wanted easy, the military would never recruit anybody.
Right. I don't think people want easy. I think they want aligned challenge. I think that's
Fire.
the best way to put it.
One of the best quotes you've ever come up with.
Well,
That'll be
stamp that on a Kevin cartoon meme.
That'll be on the cartoon.
Jeff. No, they're back. They're back. Strong work. But I do believe that. Oh, you Jeffed them again. I used to want easy. Some days, honestly, I do. Straight up. Some days I want look, it's Friday.
Turn it off.
It's raining out. I just want to open the windows and veg out for a bit. And honestly, some days I do because I have the ability to do that.
Right.
Because I've designed my life in this way. But
even that easy is so that you can get back after it from a higher level.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And that easy is because that's pointed towards a different challenge. Sundays with the family, that's not just honestly. Sometimes those days are harder than my work days because I'm like hiking and
I know.
doing all these other things. So it's not like I'm just doing
And when you
nothing.
get home at the end of those, sometimes it's more exhausting.
Exhausted.
Hey, same.
Taryn and I decided yesterday. Well, we're recording on Monday. On Sunday, that we were like yesterday. We didn't do anything. It's like, look, we went to breakfast with her dad. We went to Kohl's or Target or TJ Maxx, whatever it was. Whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then that was it. Then we just kind of were for the day. We
Bed
did our
Bath and
check-in,
Beyond?
went for a walk. No, didn't have time for Bed Bath & Beyond. But
Home Depot.
That relaxation isn't me calling it quits and saying, like, we don't have to grow anymore. I haven't arrived in my relationship. I'm not even close.
No.
I haven't arrived in my relationship.
Nope.
We are striving to be the best we can be, and that's why it actually works.
That's why Tori Leto's quote, she posted this yesterday. She said the point of an intimate relationship is not for happiness, it's for growth. And for anyone out there that is confused by that quote, happiness is a byproduct of the relationship.
Yeah.
But if that's the purpose of it, you're going to be really having a hard time when challenges come.
It's almost like if the purpose for anything you're doing is pure happiness, you're never going to find it.
I know, isn't it weird?
I don't know that there is anything that is happy. you want to eat candy. You want to be a professional eater. You feel like crap after you eat.
I know.
Do you want to be a professional candy taster? You'll have cavities.
I know.
You want to taste whiskey?
You'll be
I don't know that
going right off the rails.
Yeah, I don't know if anything is pure happy.
No, it's pleasure at the expense of fulfillment.
All right, we got to get out of here because
Yeah.
we have a mastermind here.
It's
that we
time.
have to get to.
That's true. So the timer went off.
Quickly.
This is a little bit of a shorter scratching the surface.
Yes, because it's Monday. We record our episodes on Monday. We steady be Jeffin. Okay.
And if you're on YouTube and I'm shaking, it's because I have to go
Same.
to the
We
bathroom.
both have to pee. We're both probably shaking. So, guys, every single Monday, we did it on Labor Day. We did it on the 4th of July. Like every single Monday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll open up the Zoom room so you guys can build relationships with other like-minded individuals. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live. Every fourth week, we have a guest. We have Isabella Picard and Ali Bradian coming up. We have Prepo Toplitsky coming up. You will hear next week Karen Christensen, who is this week. A lot of great things. And
Find Focus and Beat Burnout. That'll be next Tuesday.
Yes.
Dropping.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Anything else before we go?
HyperConsciousNation.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
I
myself.
do too. So go to the HyperConsciousPodcast.com, click on join #HyperConsciousNation. What's going to change your life more than anything is books and the people you meet.
And,
And 10-second blip real quick.
what is the fire thing I said?
Oh, my goodness.
That's the 10-second blip for me.
What is it?
I don't remember.
Strive versus arrive.
I got pee on the brain. Pee brain.
I do too. You said something along the lines of if your only goal for something is happiness, you'll actually never achieve it.
Yeah, but that wasn't it.
Okay, I'm going to do mine and then see if you can come up with yours.
I can't come up with it. It's what I said.
Play an infinite game. The goal is to maximize your own potential and your own contribution. That never ends. You're never going to reach a point where you can't get better.
What Alan said. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this, and we will talk to you on Sunday.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.